Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick. Joining me equally as always is Devon.
Bear, seek, lest.
Not this time.
Well, this one didn't have a meme.
No. I guess the only meme was just how many things can we bring back and rely on good old nostalgia for. Yeah, we're doing a Dark Souls 3 tier list, but before we get too far into that, let's go with the good old time-honoured tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. And what have you got for me today?
Soulsborne Fight Club. Pick two Soulsborne bosses and put them together. What do you think would make the most interesting fight? Just bear in mind, try and not use stuff from Elden Ring and Sekiro that I've not played.
Yeah, interesting and not necessarily challenging. Let's go. So what have we got that's ice-based? Ice is just Frida, isn't it? So I'm going to go with Frida in her ice phase and something very definitely...
Oh no, sir, you're not isolating phases. You take the whole boss or none at all.
Okay. I'm going with... oh man, so I can't pick the Nameless King's lightning phase.
I mean, but you'll still have it.
Yeah, but yeah, Frida and the Nameless King is now damn near impossible.
Why is it impossible?
Oh, because they're both bullshit.
Okay. Oh, fuck, you said Nameless King. I thought you... My brain auto-completed that to Ivory King because it's such a much cooler fight.
It is, yeah. Man, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm taking the Ivory King because he's cool. And what else can we have? Gwyn ain't shit.
Not in the form we fight him.
No. Actually, that'd be pretty fun. Gwyn and Vendrick, see who's shittest. That'd be interesting.
Oh, no, because Vendrick loses that fight.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if he does. He's got such high, just general stats, even when he's like at minimum defense, that he might just win based on how much bullshit damage he does with his sword.
Yeah, but his moveset is non-existent.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a difficult one. I'm sorry. So, Fight Club, we're having 1v1, or are we fighting both of them at the same time?
No, the boss against the boss.
Boss versus boss. Yeah, alright. Nameless King versus Frida.
Sure.
Ice versus Lightning.
Sorry, I thought it was very obvious that it was boss versus boss and not a player character against two bosses, because immediately having two bosses at once makes the fight borderline impossible.
Yeah. That's why I said it was going to be impossible. Yeah. So, same question, names reversed. Who are you going to pick?
The most interesting matchup, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and use two people from not just the same game, but the same DLC. I think the most interesting matchup would be Sir Alon versus Foom Knight.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Is it two giant dudes in armor? Yes. But boy, do you have
the two best ones in armor. Yeah. Also, yes.
They're the two best ones in armor, and also, like, just from like a player fighting them perspective, they're both tackled completely different, because Alon is trivialized by a shield, whereas a shield don't do dick against Foom.
No. Even before he sets himself on fire, or like sets his sword on dark fire, like getting hit by it just breaks your guard no matter how good your shield is.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2, is the last game where shields mean a damn, and even then the DLC bosses just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about you? What's your question?
Yeah, my one for you. Dark Souls 3 engine is a lot faster than Dark Souls 1 and 2. Is there any Dark Souls 1 or 2 boss that you would have liked to have seen in Dark Souls 3 faster, more?
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like Dark Souls 1 and I like Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3, I believe Dark Souls 3 came out after Bloodborne, right?
Yeah. Dark Souls 2 Scholar and Bloodborne were the same year, and then Dark Souls 3 was after.
Yeah, I don't count Scholar as a full release.
Yeah.
When I think of
Dark Souls... I think it was basically to fulfill the Sony contract of, give us 5 exclusives, and then that wasn't even exclusive because they released it on everything.
Yeah, and Dark Souls 2, what a pointless statement, because it's wrong. No, I haven't liked Souls games since Bloodborne, because it's just changed the formula too much for my liking. I don't like the faster paced combat. Like, it's one of the reasons why I actually kind of... Dark Souls 3's fun, don't get me wrong, but I kind of hate it.
Okay.
Anyway, what about you? Because you've clearly thought about it more than I have.
Mine is the Dark Lurker. I think it would be interesting to see. I think it would be interesting to see when you've got more mobility on your side, and it also has other things that it can do that are not just... Because they're cool, but the things that they do are a little bit slow, and that's like part of Dark Souls 2's way.
Your answers actually genuinely annoyed me, Rick, because Dark Lurker, in my opinion, is the best boss fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I'd like to see the anime version.
You're wrong.
All right.
You shouldn't. No, you're wrong. You shouldn't want this. You want to take something that is damn near perfect perfect as far as Souls fights are concerned and go, yeah, let's ruin it.
Well, only because you hate Dark Souls after Dark Souls 2.
I mean, anyone who thinks Dark Souls 3 is better than Dark Souls 2 has been, like, drinking the Kool-Aid. It's not a good game. I mean, no, that's not fair. It's a good game. It's the last Souls game, or Soulsborne game, I should say, because, like, Elden Ring and Sekiro and all that shit's come out since, that I've cared about. I had my fun with Dark Souls 3. I don't like how much different it feels to Dark Souls 1/2.
Yeah, and even Demon Souls.
There's even less emphasis on shields. Like, if you use a shield in Dark Souls 3, you're actively handicapping yourself. Technical difficulties, sorry guys, whatever I was saying is lost to time in memoriam. Rick, what are we doing?
We're doing a Dark Souls 3 boss tier list. Do you want to pop it in the description, or shall I pop it as a comment if people want to follow along? Well, you'll get to see the eventual ending anyway. So
yeah,
we'll start with...
it's fine.
Sure. We'll start with the first one, Aldrich.
See,
I like Aldrich. I'm going to put him in. I think actually he's a pretty good. I'll stick him in B. I don't know if he deserves A.
It depends what you're ranking him on, because I think the design's kind of interesting. I see what they were going for, but like the fight is ass.
Yeah. The arrows are a pain in the dick. Most of the fight is get back here. However, it's one of the harder quote unquote fights that I felt pretty good with, even on PlayStation. So this was what I used to farm some light medals because people wanted help, and I was able to give it.
All right, fair enough, I suppose. The design's cool, don't get me wrong, but the fight's just too bad. I don't like it. It's just a chore every time you play the game.
Yeah. Ancient Wyvern.
D, it's not a boss.
Yeah.
It's a stage hazard.
Yeah. It's the absolute epitome of gimmick. D from me as well. You get to fight it properly in Cinders.
But we're not doing Cinders.
Yeah, we're not doing really mods.
And honestly, even in Cinders, like, it's even worse because it's piss easy.
Oh yeah, it's got like 2 attacks. It can fly up and stomp down, or it can breathe fire. Champion Gundyr.
So Champion Gundyr is the dark version, the one you fight super late game, yeah?
Yeah, the one that doesn't erupt into burst into shit.
Yeah, I'll give him an A. As far as big dudes in armor go, he's pretty unique. I like the fact that he randomly throws kicks at you, and he's a pretty unique design. Yeah, it harkens back a bit to Demon Souls, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, I agree with an A tier. I think what also benefits this is the fact that it's a more pure take on the one that you've already beaten.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fight Udex Gundyr, it's a case of, oh man, dudes in armor. We're just having dudes in armor again, and then he bursts into his goopy form.
Sure, but the downside with that is like it was the demo boss, and also in all the trailers, so everyone knew it was going to do that, and I think that was on purpose to avoid the problem you were talking about.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I think A is good for this. Champion's Gravetender.
I barely remember this fight, so I'm giving it a D.
Yeah. It's just basically it's an NPC plus a bunch of wolves and then a fake Sith.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah, it doesn't even get a sword.
Crystal Sage.
Oh, I'll give it a C. I didn't like this fight. I liked it even less when, there's just another one later on.
Yeah, anything that can just get downgraded from boss to elite enemy without so much as batting an eye. Yeah, it means even the developers didn't really consider it that great of a boss.
I do like the lore, though, of the fact that it does say in the boss soul there's 2 of them, and there is only 2 of them in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the second one is just they take away the duplication ability, and that just makes the boss crap. And I don't like multiple bosses anyway. Multiple enemies in a boss fight, and I can see one boss that's going to get downgraded because of it.
I think this one is like one of your bogey bosses as well, isn't it? It just like always gives you problems.
It doesn't always give me problems. It gave me problems the first time I encountered it, and I was getting mad because I was talking to a mutual friend who was also playing the game at the time, and they were like, that boss is super easy. And I had to explain to them, yes, I know the boss is easy. I can see the boss is easy, but it's got multiple things to target, which makes my brain melt in Souls games.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. C is a good place for it. Like, lore's cool, design's cool, fight itself, yeah, a bit mid. Dancer of the Boreal Valley.
I'm giving this an S.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I also like the granularity of if you want to try it early, you can.
Yeah, you shouldn't though.
You shouldn't, because it means killing a nice old lady.
Oh, I was going to say you shouldn't because like it's hard.
Oh yeah. Once you get to like the middle of the game, I think that's a reasonable time to like add it to your list of things that you can try. So once you're like reasonably able to go down any of the paths to the Aldrich or Yorm, like that's probably about the time that you can do her no problem, because once you've done both of them, you get warped to her anyway.
Yeah, but what's the point in doing it 2 bosses early? Like, if you're not going to do it as soon as you get to Lothric, then like saying Lothric is so weird because it's a place and a boss.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing for me is that I'm quite happy to stop going down a path and try something else if something is kicking my ass and making things not fun right now.
Yeah, okay, you can do what you like, man. Anyway, as far as this goes, like, the design is just creepy enough to not be too off-putting. The boss arena is cool, especially as it lights on fire during the fight. And honestly, I feel like the moveset is punishing but easy to deal with.
Yeah, like the biggest thing that she does, in my opinion, are the stab and the big old whirligig. And the whirligig you can just like walk away from.
Yeah, you can walk away from
you
can walk away from it if you don't get tagged.
Yes, if you get tagged, then you're going to get tagged by the rest of it.
Because poise doesn't exist in this game.
Oh no.
Yeah, Dancer I think is honestly peak Dark Souls boss.
Yes, and she's got great music as well. It's one of the tracks that I can just picture it in my mind, no matter what, no problem. Dark Eater Midir.
Oh fucking D! I had to think for a second. Dark Eater, it's the dragon. Yeah, it can fuck off. It's everything that was bad about Calamite, but emphasized to the 9th degree.
Yeah. He's technically the hardest boss in the game, I guess, just based on the fact that he can one-shot pretty much anyone.
He can one-shot you. He's got a shit Z, and, well, alright, chances are he won't be able to one-shot you. He has the potential to one-shot you, but the attack that one-shots you is incredibly easy to dodge and get out of the way of. It has a wind-up, and it's a very easy-to-see wind-up. And you know what? I'm going to bump him up to a C, because he's very cool visually, and his attacks are awesome, but I've beaten this boss once. I'm never doing it again.
Yeah, I've never beaten him on a legit file.
What do you mean legit?
Like, not on Cinders, where you can do things that are bullshit.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm
not beating him. I'm not beating him on vanilla.
Obviously, I have beaten him in vanilla because I originally PlayStation boy.
Yeah. I could not do it on PlayStation. It was a bridge too far for me. That was the ceiling of my skill. I could do what's his name, Gale, no problem, but Midir, nah. And I think the thing that really got me was when he does that dark fire on the ground. It's not even his most powerful attack, but if he gets you with it once, you fall over, and then it's still going, and you get hit with it again when you're on the ground, and then when you're standing up, it get hit for a 3rd time and you die.
I mean, fair enough. Here's the thing is, I'm going to assume I never got hit by that, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just one of his fire breaths where he just like breathes fire on the ground.
Oh, like, okay, I see. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, he's got one that's super close range and one that's like super long range, and it's hard to tell which one he's going to do just by his head motions until like the last second, and it's a bit wank.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what? It made this boss fight even more frustrating for me.
What?
I didn't know there was an NPC summon for it.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I had to raw dog this bitch. It was not a fun time.
This is one of those weird ones though, where the NPC is a real blessing or like a choice of damnations, because doubling its resilience, whatever way you count it, is actually like the worst deal when it's got the highest health.
Here's the thing: is I think that the higher the stats of the boss in the first place, the less of an impact having a summon in with you actually does, because like you're going to be wailing on it for ages anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's going to differ on that. But yeah, I'm bumping it up to a C because it's cool. Visually, it's cool. Its attacks are cool. Its arena is the coolest. But fuck this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I also agree with C. Like, it's even the lore is cool. Like, it's the last of the dragons, and it's been eating darkness because they're immortal.
I wouldn't put too much stock into that Last of the Dragons bullshit, because every dragon in every Souls game has been called the Last Dragon.
Yeah. Deacons of the Deep.
I'm gonna give it a D. Cool concept, cool for a fight. It's just the most roadblockist of roadblocks. Not even blocks,
D
bumps
D
even.
D. It's barely even a fight. Even like it's just a big old mob of gimmicks.
I will say,
if you let them do their thing for long enough, you get cursed and you die.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool how like the one that you need to attack is the one that's possessing one of them right now.
Yeah.
But also, if you got the Evil Eye ring and a big weapon, then you just have infinite health in this fight.
I was going to say, the first time I fought this, I started the game as a herald. So I was using spear, shield, and I had a little bit of faith. And I will say, taking a spear into this fight sucks.
Yeah, you can poke one dude.
Yeah, it's not good.
Demon Prince.
Is this the one in the base game? No,
I believe this is the one that's the twin demons when one of them dies.
That's funny. Why is this a separate boss? Because I can see twin demons later on the list.
Yeah, so twin demons and Demon Prince. We can add them together, no problem. They've also got King of the Storm and Nameless King as separate bosses.
Oh yeah, fuck that. We'll put them on at the same time because they're the same boss. That's bollocks. But then again, this particular list we're using is technically a Dark Souls 3 boss rush, which make a boss rush of Dark Souls enemies, but we've changed it to a tier list of just ranking them. So
yeah. Sister Frieda's not on here.
How?
I don't know.
That's weird because the champion's fucking Great Wolf is, and that boss fight sucks.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll just have to add Sister Frieda in at the end.
Yeah, sure.
Demon Prince
/ Twin Princes. We'll put them.
Yeah, let's put them both in at the same time.
I'm going to put this if we're doing the whole fight as a whole, I'm going to put them both in at an A.
Yeah. I think A is a good place for those because I remember this the first time I did it first try, but I had to use a Divine Blessing.
Oh,
close.
I did this boss first try, but I had both Gale and totally not Dickhead McGee with us.
Ah, yeah, Lap.
Yeah, that's the one. I forgot his actual name as well.
Yeah. Patches.
Patches, that's the one. No, that's what I was trying to get you to say, because I'm like, what the fuck is that bastard's name? I've forgotten.
Patches the Scamp. Yeah. I remember really liking this. I've had more trouble with it since than I did the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is weird. It might be one of those that because I've relegated. Oh no, Father Ariandella, Sister Frieda is there. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Sister Frieda doesn't have her own separate one, but the twin demons and Demon Prince do.
Don't worry about it. It's not important. Do you know what I think? What might actually be the deciding factor is, don't forget the Demon Prince's moveset changes based on which twin demon you kill second.
Yeah, and I think that elevates the fight. Like the fact that you've got the choice technically of this little granularity.
You've got the choice, but you also kind of don't, because the one that's on fire has its stats boosted so much that it's basically chance of which one you're going to kill first.
Yeah, true. So yeah, A tier for this. Dragon Slayer armor.
I think this is solid B.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly where I put it straight away.
Yeah.
Straight to B. This is another one of those similar to the old Dragon Slayer in Dark Souls 2. People going, oh, what if you fought Ornstein on his own? Well, they change it up a little bit, but not a great deal.
I was going to say, I think this is the perfect remix of a boss fight.
Yeah, he's got a slightly different weapon. This one's got a shield instead of being just weapon.
And don't forget, you're not actually fighting the armor.
Yeah, even in this little artistic portrait that we've got, it's there's a lot of attention brought to the floating angel spider thing.
Yeah, which I think is a fucking cool concept, because the moment you kill this thing, all of the very close-up dragon spirit thingies just die.
Yeah, because they were all trying to animate it at once.
It's very cool. I like it. I also like how they've purposefully designed it to fix a solo Ornstein fight, so solo Ornstein doesn't just get bodied.
Yeah, by giving him a shield.
Making it so he's less jump. He still jumps, but he doesn't jump nearly as high. There's not so much emphasis on the butt stomp. And all of his electric charge is in his axe rather than in his butt.
Yeah, they telegraph the electric a little bit better and make it very punishing to not dodge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good. The Undead Legion of Farron, the Abyss Watchers.
I'm gonna put this in B.
I'm gonna put them in A.
Here's the problem, Rick. This is another boss fight that is entirely trivialized by shield.
Yeah. It's even more trivialized by a summon, because Phase 1, you can backstab. Phase 2, you can also backstab. You shouldn't be able to backstab one of your 4 lords, essentially.
I think it's fine in the first step when they're individual enemies.
Yeah, because they're essentially elevated humans.
Yeah, elevated humans who came straight out of Yharnam.
Yeah.
Crazy motherfucker called Watchdog.
Yeah, I saw them in the trailer. I'm like, oh, Bloodborne guys. Yeah. And then we got up to them. I'm like, oh, yeah, I get to fight the Bloodborne guys. Not having played Dark Souls 1 at that point, because like Dark Souls 3 was my first full Souls experience.
Sure.
So, yeah. Ariandel and Frida, straight to S for me.
I'm torn on this. I'll put them in S, but I really don't like that boss fight. It's such a slog. If you want to see me be really fucking annoyed with this, go check out my fucking The Rev Plays Games, because I recorded this DLC. And there's a moment during the boss fight where I finally beat Phase 2, and I went, there's never a Phase 3, and then it cut to fucking shocked Pikachu face.
Yep.
And it's like, Phase 3 of this fight in particular is brutal.
They even fake you out by giving you a Titanite slab the first time you do it as well.
Oh, I didn't think for a second that was meant to be a fake out. I just thought that, I don't know what I thought. It was very weird.
Yeah. Because a lot of the time when you defeat something big like that, you do get something that's a reward like that. But, 3 phases, brutal. And if you summon Gale, he doesn't show up until Phase 2.
Yeah, but Phase 1's fucking... If you can't handle Phase 1 on your own, you're a bitch.
Yeah, if you can't handle Phase 1, you're probably not handling Phase 3. However, Gale is also summonable without an Ember, which is maybe a bit telling that they knew it was a bit bullshit. Half-Light. I hate this guy. D.
Half-Light? I don't remember this fight.
Oh, okay. You might have played online. This is the optional Spears of the Church fight. If you play online, you get a person. If you play offline, you get Half-Light.
Okay, cool. I played this online, and it's cool as fuck. I'm putting this in A tier. I love that gimmick. I'm working on the fact that if you're doing Spears of the Church, you're fighting a player.
Yeah, I've never done the online version, so Half-Light himself, he's a human player that can do things infinitely and is bullshit. I don't like him. I'm putting him in D.
Yeah, I'm putting him in A.
I was able to have done it as a person, then maybe it would have been higher. Probably agreeing with you.
Here's the thing:
this is where our tier lists differ. Yeah.
Here's the thing: is like online players who do this are weirdly honourable. They don't tend to take in bullshit builds. I mean, I'm sure some people have had really bad experiences with this boss fight, but I fought this guy like 3 times because I fought 3 very competent players. The third guy I played was using the twin great swords that you get literally outside that boss room.
Yes.
And I don't think they were used to them yet because I fucking kicked their ass. But you know, just the fact that you've got the addition of the spirits giving him extra buffs like the magic missile and such, it's just such a neat little thing. And hey, it's your motivation for fucking beating Midir.
Yeah, that you get to join this covenant as well and do the cool thing. High Lord Wolnir, I'm putting him straight in C.
I'm also putting him in C. I like his design, but fuck, it's not a fight.
Yeah, it's pretty much the epitome of gimmick fight. You break his rings and he falls into the abyss, which apparently is the one thing that he was the most scared of. So fuck you, Wolnir, you're a prick.
Fair. I like the weapon you can get from him. It's useless, but it's a cool concept.
Yeah, I think the Game Grumps use that on their playthrough. Kind of cool.
I'll take your word for it. I don't like watching the Game Grumps play games I like.
Sure.
I say, despite saying I kind of hate Dark Souls 3, but you know.
Udix Gundyr, I'm putting him in B.
I'm also putting him in B.
Yeah, he's alright. Champion Gundyr shits all over him. Not only in the fact that, you fight him later and his stats are better, but, I feel it lets the halberdier armoured guy feel better as Champion Gundyr than as Udix.
Yeah. I also think this might be the most fair introductory boss fight in a Souls game.
I don't know, but maybe.
I think it's fairer than Asylum. I think it's fairer than Demon's Souls. Dark Souls 2 didn't have one.
Yeah, Bloodborne kind of didn't have one either, because you can just skip past the Cleric Beast.
Well, again, you don't have to... Here's the thing, is I class an introductory boss fight as a boss fight that you have to fight with your starting gear, no options allowed.
Yeah, before you get to your hub.
So Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 don't have that.
Yeah, it's definitely more fair than the Demon's Souls one.
The Demon's one is just bullshit. That one is there to fuck with people. Like, Demon's Souls one is beatable.
Yeah.
But you probably won't.
Yeah.
Because you get one shot.
The Dark Souls one, you've got one shot to beat him first try and get the hammer. But you can also do things as intended and walk through and get your stuff back and have an easy shot.
That's just it. Asylum is tough if you've got no gear, but once you've got your gear plus start with a plunging attack, he's a bitch.
Yeah, that's why I think the Asylum Demon is a better tutorial.
I didn't say tutorial.
Yeah, I'm just basing it on what purpose he serves. I think Gundyr is more of a roadblock and Asylum is more of a tutorial. So I think Asylum Demon is better as a boss.
Okay, agree to disagree.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, at the end of the day,
yeah,
you can just cheese Ayudix with firebombs.
Oh, yeah. We both stick them in B anyway, so... King of the Storm.
Okay, so we'll put him in at the same time as Nameless, which thankfully is like one after the other.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put this in S.
I think I agree.
It's a really tough fight, but it's not as tough as Frida by any imagination, like Frida's DLC, so like, yeah, whatever. But the thing about this being a super tough fight is it's the most optional fight in the game.
Yeah, you have to go a long way out of your way to do it.
And ring a bell that they tell you, don't ring this bell, it'll fuck your game up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I believe the only time you have to fight Nameless King is if you're doing the achievement to get all the rings, which I had to fucking do. You have to beat him on New Game Plus 2.
Oh, fuck me.
You're on New Game Plus 2. Your stats are bullshit at that point anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still tough.
I think you recorded that, didn't you?
I don't think I did.
Well, fair enough.
No, Dark Souls 3...
You recorded one of your Nameless King fights anyway, so I remember watching that.
Yeah, that was
many years ago.
That would be my Guts one. I did a Guts playthrough, which I decided to do halfway through my game, and I was just recording all the boss fights.
Yeah. Yes. I think S tier is great for him because his design is great, his lore is great. You get to see someone other than Ornstein using the Ornstein-like spear.
Sort of. His spear is very different to Ornstein's.
Yeah, it's a similar...
Well, because his is basically a sword on a stick.
Yeah, it's a sword spear. He can stand on it to get more downward thrust. The way that you'd think a Dragoon would be actually fighting, except he's on the side of dragons.
Yeah, but so are Dragoons if you go by 14 logic.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. I think it's an awesome boss fight. You get an awesome boss arena. You get to... This is the closest Dark Souls has been to anime.
Yes.
I think that's a good way of describing it, which is, I think, something I heard while watching the best friends play Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, unless you count Gale, but even then...
Oh, Gale wasn't out at that point.
Yeah, I think Nameless King is...
He's got the Goku hair!
The feel of his fight is very shonen, because he doesn't want to kill his friend, but in a kind of Ornstein and Smo parallel, he kind of has to get the power.
I mean, at that point, his steed is dying.
Yes.
It's basically a mercy killing. It's not like when when Smo just smashes Ornstein and you see Ornstein's fingers move just before he gets smashed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Prick.
Oh, no one likes Smo.
No. Osiros.
Oh, this is tough. I'm going to put him in B.
Yeah. This is another one of those that I did first try no problem, and then since then I've had more of an issue.
Oh, this fight's a bitch. I don't like it.
Oh, yeah. The only problem with it is your good old curse mechanic.
Curse?
Yeah, he curses you.
Does he?
With his, I'm pretty sure he does.
It's Frost, man. You're talking about the breath he leaves on the ground.
Yeah, I think it's curse like Seath does.
No, it's not. It's Frost.
Okay.
This guy doesn't have an insta-kill, or a chance to insta-kill. I could be wrong. I'm 95% sure it's Frost.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, but also I think it's curse based on the fact that he's trying to evoke what Seath was and did. I like the way that they've turned a human into a micro-Seath as well.
Yeah, I like the lore behind this guy. I really like the fact that he's constantly clutching an invisible baby, and we say invisible, a non-existent baby, and he's like, Ocelot, and you hear a baby crying.
Yeah.
Throughout the boss fight.
Apparently, he smashes the baby.
No, apparently he fumbles it and drops it.
Okay.
That's how I always read it. No, I don't care about his lore.
Yeah.
Fucking 700 ads, fucking Dark Souls wiki, piss off. Fight Ashen One. Oh, okay, yeah, no, he will occasionally perform a jump to smash onto the player, and also summon fountains around him that inflict curse build-up. My apologies, I could have sworn it was Frost.
Yeah, it looks like Frost because it's crystals, but yeah, it's Seath curse. B is a good place for him, I think. And yeah, he's the gatekeeper of one of the other...
Oh, he's the gatekeeper of the secret zones, basically, because you get access to both after beating him. I also do like the switch that happens mid-fight, where he stops being a mage and just becomes a fucking Dargon.
Yeah, Berserker dragon fella. Old Demon King.
I'm going to put him in C.
Yeah, ditto. C is a good place for him. I think this is possibly the most interesting that a demon has been, but even then that's mainly because of his finale, like Death or Glory attack where he blows up and then you can just kill him.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool concept. It's a cool design. The arena's cool. It's just imagine that though. You're the last of you think you're the last of your race, and what is surrounding you is a pile of corpses, basically confirming as much. And if you look at the corpses, it's all Capra and Taurus demons.
Yeah. Which which we don't fight any of. We just see the corpses. It's like the Mushroom Men in Farron Swamp.
Well, it's meant to have been a long, long, long time, and yet Katarina still exists.
Yeah. There's no bacteria, so nothing decays.
You don't know that.
Well, we can see there's the mushroom people, and they're still there.
Rick, magic exists.
Yeah. But yeah, C is a good place for him, I think. Pontiff.
I'm going to put Pontiff in A.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was between S and A. Yeah, and I think A is a good place. He's a very good midpoint boss, in my opinion.
Sure.
Because you've done your first Lord, but Pontiff is stronger than your at least one Lord.
How do we know this?
Well, he's because he's harder than the Abyss Watchers.
I don't know, man. I think the Abyss Watchers would kick his ass.
But
here's the thing: is whenever I say something is stronger than something, that's because there's in-game proof. Well, I can say Nashandra is weaker than both the Throne Watcher and Defender and the Looking Glass Knight because she never left the castle.
Yeah. She never got past either of them.
Whereas there's no evidence that Ponty can get past the Undead Legion, or vice versa. I think really.
It's a weird one with Aldrich where he was able to bully Aldrich and get Aldrich to do what he wanted him to do. But I don't think he could beat Aldrich at the time that we fight Aldrich because Aldrich had just had a snack on Gwendolyn and has extra power.
I don't think he could beat Aldrich. I believe Aldrich was just like content to eat other things.
Yeah.
Stronger things.
Yeah. But yeah, Pontiff in A. I like that.
Yeah, I also like the fact that he has a stand.
Yes. Slave Knight Gale. I don't think there's any question. He's S.
I'm putting him in B. I think the fight's cool. It's very thematically cool. I don't know why he's the ultimate boss.
Oh, yeah. It's weird that someone who is essentially a mid-tier jobber gets to be the final boss.
Apparently the blood/soul of the pygmy is strong enough to make anyone swole, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I think his moveset's cool, but it's just Artorias turned up to the nth degree.
Yeah. I think part of it is that he just so happens to be the one that's got the most willpower to get to the end of this world. And he also mirrors you in that you're just an Ashen one who ain't shit, and he's just a Slave Knight who ain't shit, and yet you're the two at the end of the universe that are ready to clash.
Yeah, but
and either way, the My Fair Lady, the painting lass, gets the Dark Soul anyway, because like either he gives it to her or you do.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, you don't have to, but like I feel like it's the canon way to end it is just to tie it off with a little bow, give it to her, and then she paints the world, and that's the series.
Sure, I think it's naff.
Sure. I also think it's kind of cute that he uses some of the weakest spells in the game, but because he's so bullshit, then they become a threat. So like those like Halo of Light things that are really crap when you use them.
I guess. You mean Destructo Disc?
They become full-on Destructo Discs, yeah.
Yeah, but that's because Miracles got nerfed for fucking humans.
Yeah. Soul of Cinder.
I'm going to put it in A because thematically it's cool, but the fight is, much like mirroring Gwyn in Dark Souls 1, it's very much a victory lap.
Yeah, it's a very satisfying victory lap, I think. Also putting it in A. I don't think he's as cool as Gale. I don't think he's as cool as the Nameless King or the Dancer. Because he goes through different phases of things that were popular builds in Dark Souls 1. So he's got like a sorcerer stance. He's got a flipping stance with a curved sword.
Well, yeah, he's meant to be pretty much everyone who's ever linked the fire. And because the player character in Dark Souls 1 linked the fire, in theory, if we get to Dark Souls 3, then, it could have been anyone. So you're basically fighting PvP builds, but confined to a Dark Souls boss, which makes them shit.
Yeah. And then, like, phase 2 is he discards all those and tries to be Gwyn again.
Yeah, and you get
you get to hear the Gwyn song again.
Yeah, well,
pling, pling, plong.
Yeah, you get shades of Gwyn's theme. It's not quite Gwyn's theme.
Yeah, you get the pling, pling, plong. That's the big deal. But yeah, I think A is a good place for that. Twin Princes.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna put them in S. I like this fight. I like the fact that Lothric sits on his throne during the first half and just teleports his bro, and then he brings him back to life for him to tag team against you. And thematically, it's very cool, because Lothric's the person who went, I don't want to fucking burn myself for this shithole, fuck you. And if he beats you, you get a really nice piece of dialogue from him, which is, hey, if you want to stop, you can just rest here with us, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. He doesn't say that, but...
Yeah, like, we're going to wait out the end of the world, you might as well do it with us. Right. It's our curse that we chose not to do it, and now we're fucking Cinder Lords. Yeah, you don't have to kill us. Yeah.
I actually like as well that Lorien is kind of a fraud.
Yeah.
The reason why he's got no legs is because he lost them doing his big dick fucking I'm a warrior, fuck you shtick. But the reason why he's got such a reputation is he killed the last of the demons, and we know that's bollocks.
Yeah. I think the idea was he was meant to have killed the twin demon princes.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, the old demon king's still chilling down in Islip.
Yeah, totally. I had him in A. Yeah, I think you're right. I think S is a good place. Yeah, S.
You're allowed to disagree with me. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, S. And uniquely, he's the only boss soul that you get a real benefit from doing twice, because you can combine both of his swords into the Twin Prince's greatsword, which is cool.
That is cool. Also means you have to beat New Game Plus to use it.
Oh yeah, totally. Or get one handed from someone who don't care. But yes, Vort.
I'm gonna put him in C because I don't know, man. There's nothing special about him. I think he's cool because he's the first real boss you're going to fight in the game, but he's not all that unique or interesting.
Yeah, kind of agree. Do I put him in B or C? Yeah, I'll pop him in C. Yeah, C rank for him, because he's not that, yeah, like you say, he's not that interesting. All he does that it's different from Dude in Armor is ice things and be on all fours. So he might as well be a boar.
Yeah.
And he just happens to have a hammer.
I will say, I think one of the coolest things is the fact that the Dark Souls devs learned that, whenever someone does a breath attack or an attack that has them focusing on one point for multiple seconds, that's just free damage for the player. So if you run up and hit him while he's doing his frost breath, he stops.
Yeah. But yeah, even that, it's still a free hit, but it's not like 20 free hits. Mm-hmm. Plus his hammer is one of the biggest early things you can get in the game, so that's a nice little reward if you want to be a big dick strength fella.
I mean, I guess, but like, hammers aren't good.
Nah. But speaking of, you can't get the hammer without doing the Curse Rotted Greatwood.
I'm going to put the Curse Rotted B. I think the fight it takes the Rulner gimmick and does it slightly better.
Okay. Yeah, because you can only hit the things that are very obviously weak points until the hand comes out, and then you can hit the hand.
Yeah. I just think it does it much better, and it makes more sense that here's a living tree, like its weak spots are its ball sack.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as men we all know that hitting him in the ballsack is hit the weak point for massive damage.
He's also the grossest boss in the game.
Oh yeah, which is saying something when you got Udix Gundyr who like bursts into stuff, and Aldrich who's like a slug. Yeah,
but that's just slime. This is like it looks like it's spewing piss.
Yeah, it's just some kind of internal fluid of some kind. It's horrible, bile and crap and garbage. Yeah, it's gross, and I love it. And last but not least, Yorm the Giant.
Yeah, straight into fucking D.
Okay.
It's a gimmick fight. It's the biggest gimmick fight that forces you to use a weapon you might not give a fuck about.
Sure.
And even if you do Sigward's story, he's helpful, sure, but by the way, there's 2 Storm Rulers.
Yeah. He gave one to Sigward before the game, and then you can pick the other one up.
Yeah, and if you're not good at doing on-the-fly equipment swaps, you're not going to be able to beat this boss first attempt.
Yeah. On PlayStation, I have never had Sigurd survive this fight. On PC, I've never had a problem.
I can't tell you what the issue is there.
Yeah, skill issue. It might just be that I'm shit at video games.
I'm not saying that. I generally don't know why being on the console would be any different than being on the PC in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know. But it might just be that time has passed and I just did get better at Dark Souls when I was able to, focus a bit better at the PC. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So where are you putting him?
I'm putting him in C. I think he's better than D. You compare him to the Deacons and the Champion's Grave Tender and the Ancient Wyvern, and for me, Half-Light. I think he's better than all of that. I think he's better than Vort as well, so I'd put him at the top of C, but we're not doing that. So, yeah, he's going in C for me.
That's fair, man. I don't think he is better than those other gimmick fights, because, again, once you've got the weapon, it's just spam your special.
Yeah. And, So for the finale,
there's not much point in doing favourite and least favourite because it's a tier list. We already have that written out.
Yeah, so can you think of any particular favourite moments that you've had while fighting any of these bosses?
Oh, let's not do this.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yep, okay, straight into the ending then. So, if you like the video, you got the comment section down below on YouTube. If you're listening via one of the many audio platforms, you can instead send an email to
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yeah, give us some comments, shout at us, tell us why we're wrong. Yeah, look forward to next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.